Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Stylophone Gen R-8 Beginner's Guide series.
In this video we're going to be looking at the filter, the envelope, the delay and the mixer.
Now let's look at the filter. The filter on the Gen R-8 is a multi-mode 12 dB analog one. As we mentioned earlier, the filter can add or remove frequencies in various ways, and it can change the way a wave sounds. Let's look at some of those ways now. The cutoff knob controls how many frequencies pass through the signal. The further to the right you turn it, the more frequencies pass through, and the lower the sound is. The further to the left you turn it, the fewer frequencies pass through and the higher the sound is. The resonance knob boosts the gain of the frequencies immediately surrounding the wave signal. This can create a sharper sound. The envelope depth knob allows the envelope to be added to the cutoff signal. This means that the envelope in the adjacent panel to the filter is enabled. The knob controls the amount that the envelope is able to control the filter. The envelope's relationship to the filter via this knob is that the filter will mimic whatever settings are chosen on the envelope in the way a filter functions. For example, were the envelope activated to perform a slow attack, i.e. for notes to impact more slowly, and the envelope depth knob turned up, this would mean that the frequencies would pass through the signal more slowly. Let's hear this in action. The high pass button allows all high frequencies to pass through the signal chain at the exclusion of the low frequencies. The low pass button allows all low frequencies to pass through the signal chain at the exclusion of the high frequencies. Clicking both the high and low pass buttons together creates a band pass. A band pass is when a band of frequencies in the middle of the sound relative to the knob position is removed. Having neither button selected creates a notch filter. A notch filter removes mid-frequencies regardless of where the knob is positioned. However, the extent to which they are removed can be controlled by the filter cutoff knob. The cutoff input allows an external control voltage Eurorack or Gen R-8 parameter to control the amount of cutoff, i.e. the filtration of the sound in proximate frequencies. Let's demonstrate this by connecting the cutoff input to the LFO output on our second Gen R-8. This means that the LFO will cause the sound from the cutoff to transform from an undulating pulsation into one that also gradually comes in and out. The resonance input allows an external control voltage Eurorack or Gen R-8 parameter to control the amount of brightness in the sound. Let's demonstrate this by connecting the resonance input to the LFO output of our second Gen R-8. This means that the LFO is causing the brightness in the sound to fade in and out as it increases and decreases. Let's move on to the envelope. The envelope controls the dynamics in the sound of the Gen R-8. It allows notes to fade in and out at certain rates with its parameters. For example, how long a note lasts for after the key is released. This is called release. The envelope's default state is to control volume on the Gen R-8. Gate in allows you to trigger the envelope using an external gate signal from a Eurorack. A gate signal tells an instrument that a note has been pressed in order for the sound to be produced. It also keeps the envelope open during the sustain period. Envelope out is the envelope output. This allows you to shape the dynamics of external equipment or other Gen R-8 parameters, for example, the filter or pitch of a Eurorack. Let's demonstrate this by connecting the envelope out to the oscillator's control voltage input. This means that the envelope will control the downward motion of the pitch. As we mentioned briefly earlier, the envelope can also control the filter cutoff by adjusting the envelope's depth knob in the filter section. Now let's look at the envelope's main parameters. The attack controls how quickly the signal fades in. The sustain controls how long the signal lasts at full volume. Decay controls how quickly the sound falls away while the note key is still pressed. Release controls how quickly the sound falls away once the key has been depressed. Let's move on to the delay parameter. Time in allows the gap between the delay iterations to be controlled using an external control voltage source or Gen R-8 parameter. Let's demonstrate this by connecting it to the LFO output of the Gen R-8. This means that the gap between delay iterations will be determined by the LFO's modulations, creating a chorus effect. The time knob controls how wide the gap between delay iterations is. A slower time in will create a bigger gap, and a faster time in will create a smaller gap. The repeat knob controls the amount of repeats for each delay iteration. Turning the knob to maximum will cause the delay to create feedback noise. Let's demonstrate this. Now let's look at the mixer. The aux in is an auxiliary input. This allows external audio to be processed through the Gen R-8's filter, delay, and drive, a distortion effect. To activate it, you have to hold a key down and ensure all oscillators are switched off. Let's demonstrate this using a Stylophone Gen X1 as our external audio source. Phones is a headphone output so you can play the Gen R-8 without disturbing your neighbours. The volume knob controls the volume of the Gen R-8. Delay level controls the volume of the delay panel. Thanks so much for watching this video on the Beginner's Guide series on the Stylophone Gen R-8. We really hope you've been enjoying it and found it useful. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing to my channel if you're new. And why not check out Leigh Kemp's channel for other amazing Stylophone tutorials. And click here to watch another video in the Stylophone Gen R-8 series.